We're back. I like this hook. You got a book you want to tell us about? Well, let's talk. There's no other place to do it. Only on Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host, Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
And I am George, the Dreamer Medina. How is everybody?
How is everybody? So, we decided to do this impromptu episode because we just recently found out that a friend and supporter of the indie community, supporter of Crazy Comics back in the days, to Mass Media Studios, to Exmoor, to a lot of independents out there. You know, Roderick Paul, he passed away. We don't know the circumstances. It's a big loss to the indie world. Rod hosted his own show on YouTube, which was Rod Toy Masters. I know that he's interviewed me multiple times on there. And he's also interviewed George in Mass Media. So it's unfortunate because I found out today on Facebook as I'm reading, and we also lost early on Robert Garrett from Exmoor Studios, who was an original team member of Crazy Comics. So it's just it's a somber moment because we were all in the same age group, and we were all, trying to pursue our dreams together. George?
No,
Rod,
Rod was a very cool dude. Every time,
If you were at a
if you were at a
convention
convention and
he
he saw you at the convention, he would come up with his camera.
He'd like, hey man, you
He'd
want
like,
to
hey
do a
man,
quick
you want to do a
interview?
quick interview?
And it was
like, yeah, let's do it.
Prompt.
It wasn't
It wasn't even
like
like
I chased him
around.
around. He would just come over and he just wanted to promote your stuff, put it on his YouTube channel,
and just
and
show
just
love.
show love.
And
And
that's what he was.
He would just show love, and
it's sad.
it's sad. I saw it on,
Like
you said, how you told me earlier today, and then
I saw it on
Facebook, and I was like, man, we're all out here, like you said, pursuing our dreams and doing a thing, and it's almost like sometimes these things just put things in perspective. It's like life is short, man.
Yeah, I'm losing you. I'm getting
Go
some bad
through your
feedback.
passion.
Do your past, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just
Bad feed?
Yeah, bad feed.
Yeah.
Comes in and
I
out.
went in and out.
Yeah.
So today, like you said, we're just doing an impromptu episode just to commemorate and to celebrate, like you said, celebrate his life. And even Robert, may rest in peace. Robert Garrett, who was also, like you said, an original member, man, of Crazy Comics. We're all connected. It's such a small industry, you know what I mean?
Yes. And it's interesting because I found 4 video interviews where I was interviewing Rob back in the early days of Crazy Comics. Remember, we used to do our interview section. So one of the shows I'm going to play. But yeah, it's amazing to think because Roderick, we met at the Big Apple Con for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was, I believe it was around 2006 when we first met, and I think our first interview, it was either 2007. It could have been earlier.
Could have been, yeah.
But he had a unique sense of humor, a big laugh,
Cool, dude.
very approachable, easy to talk to, fun to have conversation with. He also supported us when we did Licensing International. And he gave us coverage.
Oh, yeah.
When we did licensing.
That's right. That's right.
He was a good guy. You always knew that he was going to be at the cons. And you always knew that he was going to give the little guys a spotlight. Where it was hard to get that spotlight because you competed with all the big boys, and you can always count on Rod to be able to show some love. And because he was passionate about it. He loved toys. He loved comics. and he loved
Yeah.
filmmaking. You know, all of his
Yeah.
three passions, and he was pursuing that, which is pretty awesome.
No, I know. And I love that he would and say, "Here you go, just say what you got to say." He would just hand you the mic, and you'd be in front of his camera. And
Yeah.
he was like the behind the scenes guy. He wasn't about, "Oh, I got to get on camera now. You got to see me." No, he was always about, "Here's your mic. Talk to me. Tell me what you got there." And you would just hear his voice, just
Yes.
introducing the show, and then at the end, just closing out. He's just a humble dude, man. And it's sad. It's sad
Yes.
to hear something like that. It hits home when you hear somebody like you said in our age group, and just doing what we're doing, what we love to do, and we lose them.
Yeah, it just seems to be it's like life is catching up to us, and it's unfortunate. I don't know the circumstances behind what happened or anything. There's not
Right,
very
right.
much information other than the fact that his niece posted that he passed. But I'm looking for through all
Right,
the interviews
right.
that he's done. Ray Felix, Robert Garrett,
Me too, bro.
Market Bop. I mean, you
I'm
see.
seeing that, yeah. I'm seeing that, yeah.
I'm looking at. I mean, he's done everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, let's see. I'm
No,
trying.
he loved the
No, he loved the
independent comics.
independent
He
comics.
was just a
He
supporter,
was
man.
just a supporter, man.
Yeah,
He supported us.
He supported us.
yeah. I mean, he
He
shined the light
Yeah,
on
he did an
Robert
interview
Yeah, he
with
Garrett
did an
quite a
interview
bit.
with he did
yeah.
yeah,
They were
they
man.
were yeah, man. He was
He was just a good
he
guy.
was just a good
Yeah,
guy.
I remember back in
When I was at the New York Comic Con in 2011, he interviewed me. I was promoting my Russ stuff, and he just came up to the table and he just, "Hey, you want to talk about your stuff? Quick, 3-minute interviews or whatever." But
yeah,
it was great,
yeah, yeah.
And you felt like a superstar when he came. When he did them, you felt like a superstar. Like, oh man, I'm getting interviewed.
Hi, this
It's
is
great.
Roderick from Toy Masters Video Magazine.
Ah,
Still here at Comic Con
there he is.
and Anime Con mixed together at Jacob John's Convention Center in New York City, 2011. We're here at
Why you
Mass
looking
Media
around for like the
Studios.
cops or something?
I'm here with George. What's up?
How you doing, man? How's everybody, all right?
Okay. You're here with your comic book character called Russ5377. What's that about?
Basically, the story's about a young man who lives in an orphanage sometime in the future. I don't tell you when. The orphanage is really a lab where they're trying to create a perfect specimen. When Russ figures this is what's going on, he decides it's time to escape, and that's kind of where the story takes off.
Now, what type of powers does he have?
Well, basically, he's got telekinetic powers, and he's got extremely strong. He's just a lot of strength. He's strength of like 10,000 pounds. And that's basically the result of a serum that his mom was injected with when he was a baby back in her womb. And that's kind of how he got his powers.
What about the other characters that in the office? Are they also superpowered?
Well, one of his friends is a hacker. So his superpower, you might call it, is his incredible ability to hack into any computer system. His other partner actually gets captured.
Yeah, I want to pull up one of them with Robert Garrett as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Here we go.
definitely.
X more. I think it was at the same event. Um, yeah, New York Comic Con. Yeah, same event.
Hi, this is Roderick from Toy Masters Video Magazine. Still here at Comic Con, Anime Con. All together at Jacob John's Convention Center in New York City, 2011. I'm here with Robert Garrett from X Studios. You all know Robert.
How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Oh man, what's going on with X-Men?
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of products getting ready for the new year. And we're going to be debuting the biggest project, our first novel, which is a fantasy series called The House of Tales. And it's going to be African-American tribes in a world where dragons and elves rule. And it's going to be all linked together with a man that's been raised on Earth, but he's really 3,000 years old. So it's going back and forth. And he doesn't realize that he's the king of another world. So I'm trying to do something different in the sense of a fantasy series where we're not sidekicks. It's African Americans where you're ruling things, not just fighting amongst somebody. Okay, so I'm hoping that takes well with a lot of different people. And inside the book we got illustrations and, dialogue. So it should be something book the audience like.
Yeah, I mean that was in 2011. I mean
Yeah,
he's done
yeah.
Greg White from Civilian Justice. He's interviewed everybody. Let's see.
He's for
For
sure.
sure.
He's got
He's got so many interviews there.
There's me 12 years ago. Let's see. I think I want to look
My
at.
God,
Here's,
12
12
years.
here's
ago.
the Big Apple at 2007 with me and
Oh
Rob.
my God.
Oh my God.
His name is Didi from the planet Uranus, and he's sent here to destroy Earth. Well, actually, he's on a recon mission, so to determine if we're a threat to his home world.
Oh, God. You're a sick mind.
Hey, I spent a lot of time in the men's lounge.
No?
My men's lounge.
Okay.
A lot of time to think. So, do what you came to mind.
Ah, boy. So what's up, dude? Why you here? What's going on with you?
I'm at the Big Apple National Convention, and I'm here to promote the release of my...
Yeah, I mean, you could think about all of the. In fact, this was the most 1 year ago. I think it's the most recent one with Rob.
Oh yeah. This was last year, right?
Yeah.
Like Robert said, having a
2019.
great time selling and selling. That's the best way to talk about it. Anyway, what we're going to be pushing is our newest Ajala book, which is Ajala 5, that we're working to get the color version up fairly soon. And me and Steve are pushing and doing a whole bunch of different projects involving Ajala. Also, we have Toolboy that's going to be based in as a glossary and also great images from Toolboy that's from the book. And people are really digging up on that about a League of Assassins based in Harlem. And there's a few secret projects coming out, which I won't mention, but we're going to be coming up with some really fun stuff, basically family oriented, that's going to be debuting from Expo Studios coming out in the spring. So it's a great show. If you're around the neighborhood or if you know anything about the show, come on out. You'll love it, and there's a lot of great talent. Peace out, people.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy when it's like every time, I met Robert at Saks Fifth Avenue when I was a security guard and he was a stock associate, and how we ran into each other. I think I was drawing on post. I was on post and I was drawing, and he walked by. He's like, "Hey, you draw?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I write." And I said, "Oh, really? Yeah, what do you write?" He said, "I write comics." I said, "Oh, cool. I'm drawing comics." He goes, "Hey, why don't we work together?" And that's how that started. And it's funny because I was talking to you the other day. I found the original org chart and row structure and contracts for Crazy Comics, where Robert was the editor in chief for Crazy Comics back in the days, and we had Terry Jenkins, and we had Richard Clark, and we had Leo Gonzalez, and Angelo Fucus, and Michael Esquera, the original crew for Crazy Comics, and we were working on a project called Black Earth and Tales of an Assassin, Execution to Die For. Those are the original books that Rob and I conceptualized together, working with the team, and it was just fascinating when I was going through the boxes in my basement, how I was just going down memory lane.
Yeah.
I found, and I'm going to show you in a segment, I found the first convention flight tickets and hotel reservations that Robin and I went to, which was the Wizard World Chicago, where he and I went. I actually flight passes and our hotel tickets. That was an adventure because he and I, back then technology wasn't the way it is now, so we booked the hotel that was cheapest, which was in the boondocks, nowhere near the convention center, miles away. And you're right off a highway and nothing but gas stations around you. And if you wanted to eat, you had to hike it to find the nearest McDonald's, which is the only thing you can find. And so we would walk this highway to get to the nearest bus stop. So we had to walk at least 1.5 miles to get to the bus stop along this highway. And I remember we would hear it sounded like someone was on a motorcycle behind us, and we turned around and we don't see anybody. But it's walking, and then Rob and I looking, and so we're like, "Yo, are they coming to get us?" And you see us running with book bags and stuff along the highway, and just to get to the convention, it was just horrible. And I remember Rob, I used to jack up the AC, and at the room, so he would every time he would ask for extra quilts. So I wake up in the morning. All I see is his eye. He's wrapped up in as a cocoon. And all I see is his eyeball blinking. He goes, "Mr. Freeze, can we turn off the air?" Oh man, it was
He was
crazy.
great,
Yeah,
dude. He was
yeah, some
great.
memories.
He was a huge fan. I know he was a huge fan of. Well, I
Wait, you're coming in.
forget this. Like he was a huge fan of it. I'm trying to think of the his favorite writer. I can't remember his favorite writer, but he had stories, man. He
Oh,
had stories.
Robert
Like
Jordan. Robert Jordan was his favorite writer.
Robert Jordan.
Yes.
Robert Jordan.
Yep.
Yes, Robert Jordan.
Because he put me onto the books.
He
And
would always talk about how much he loved.
yes.
Yeah, he loved that. He loved that. I was like, holy, he was really into those, man. Like he was, and his creativity. Like you look at that interview, he's got secret books. And I'm hoping, and I really hope he had a Kickstarter that was supposed to come out, and I hope that after all this is done, they're able to put it together because I can't wait to see some of the stuff that we never got to see. That he never got to finish. But I'm sure he wrote. I'm sure he's got tons of stuff. You know, stuff that you wrote.
Yeah,
And that you artist to bring it to life.
I keep losing you. But
Was that?
yeah, you keep going in and out, which sucks. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
Technology. We're trying to
it does
figure out a
stink.
better way to get this separation, distancing stuff where we're not getting this bad.
Yeah, squared away.
But he was a big Robert Jordan fan. He loved fantasy. He loved those big epic stories. He loved comic books. He had a specific opinion about comics. He wasn't afraid to voice his opinion about specific artists and writers and all that stuff. Whatever. It's crazy between Robert and Rod. It's crazy how just in a short period of time, two guys that we grew with, and we all started in the game at the same time, and just to see what's happening, it's scary, especially now with the pandemic and Corona, and you hear about people. Take the time to just appreciate, and there's so much negativity out there. Just appreciate people, man. Take the time to just call them up and say, "Yo, I was thinking about you. How you feeling?"
Yeah.
Because you might not get
Life is too short.
Yeah.
Life is too short, man. Too short. And as creative individuals and in the creative industry and in the independent world, these two gentlemen are going to be missed a lot. We're going to miss them a lot, and that's why we wanted just to show our love and support for these two great dudes that we both knew.
Yes.
And it's sad. It's just sad.
Yeah. Just find his Facebook.
What are you looking for, Sam?
Yeah, I'm going to Roderick's Facebook page, Toy Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook page. So what you're seeing now is just people sending their condolences. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Great dude, man.
Yes, great guy. Again, for everyone out there, watching the show or listening to the show, take the time to just say, I appreciate you. If you haven't spoken to somebody in a long time, give them a call. What's it hurt? It's. I think life's too short to have regrets, and it's easy to forget. It's harder to stay connected in this world where what's even funnier is that we're all connected to devices, but we're not connected to each other. And so let's go back to the humanity part. And everyone's talking about it, but can we actually be about it? That's the challenge.
Yeah, we should use this technology to stay connected rather than separate each other from it. Use this technology that we have. Use what we're given right now to stay connected. There's no reason why we can't see each other anymore. Because I can just call you and FaceTime
That's it.
you. I can see you now. Before it was just I can hear your voice. Now I can actually see what you look like. See how you're doing. Can you hear me? So definitely, man. Just tell each other you love each other. You know, share important moments with each other. Don't forget about calling those people you haven't heard from in a while,
Yeah.
and just see what's up.
Yeah. That So my condolences out to his family. Here's some pictures of Rod at conventions. Uh, which convention was this? He's with Javier Cruz Winnick, who was on our show. Uh, you know, condolences out to Robert's family, and these guys are now creating with angels. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Robert is like, no, wow, I got a bigger platform now. I have all these angels, and so we can create this epic story. And they're like, yo, stop.
Yeah.
And Roger's like, no, I want to
And
film
I'm
it.
sure
Let me get it on camera.
exactly. I'm sure Rod is up there interviewing Rob right now, man. They're up there together right now. Just
Yes.
But yeah.
There he goes.
Uh,
Yeah, man. It's if everybody out there, just be safe. And don't take anything for granted, and don't think you're a superhero. I know that I was affected. I haven't gotten tested yet because it's been difficult to get tested in my area. So I don't know if I specifically had corona, but I know I was bedridden for a long time, and I know when I leave the house, I'm wearing a mask and I'm wearing the gloves. Until they say otherwise.
Yeah.
Until they say otherwise. Don't play with fate. And just learn to appreciate everyone, and take the time to say I appreciate you. I was thinking about you. I miss you. How you doing? Let's go out for a beer. It doesn't. Well, now we can't, but when we can, those are the things I miss. It's funny.
as soon as this is over, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I miss you sitting here with me working on the show. I miss, that once a month I'd meet Eddie and James.
I know.
And we go out for a drink. It's like I miss, that. I miss
Yeah.
the team that I managed. It's like your whole world is rocked and all that's taken away from you. And that's the smallest effect. The biggest effect is when you're taken from the world. Those unfinished business. It's, I guess my message to you guys out there is go after your dreams. It's not going to find you. You need to find it. Don't look back, and don't forget about your friends and family along the way. That's it.
Yes. And may these two gentlemen rest in peace. And again, our condolences to their families. This show was done in honor of them. And we hope that it helps you a little bit just to see them smile on the screen and do what they love.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. So Robert, I'm hoping that you're reading all of the Robert Jordan books that you can possibly read. And Rod, I'm hoping that you're filming your next best epic film, a documentary. I know he wanted to do documentaries, and we'll meet up again. We'll meet up again.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
I'm Sam, the crazy man, Vera. And
This is George, the Dreamer Medina.
And,
Love it.
Stay safe.
Love it.
Yes, peace. And credits.
It's just it's not.
Crazy. I'm so crazy. You so crazy.
Acquiesce.
Crazy.
No, it's about my friend Acquisa, man.
You so
Say my name, say my name. Right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh my.
He described me. He said, I'm the.
To catch the craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To catch The Craze.
You are listening to Catch the Craze on It's the Craze.
You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.